Good evening, viewers. Welcome to DD News Meghalaya. And now we bring to you today's news bulletin. Before going to the details, first let's take a quick look at the headlines. Meghalaya Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma says Meghalaya poised to become India's largest state in organic agriculture as government gradually shifts to certified organic farming. Chief Minister Conrad Sangma clarifies Rs 5 lakh ex-gratia to families of 5 workplace accident victims came from Chief Minister's special grant, not disaster fund. Over 1,000 lawyers rally in Shillong demanding removal of Advocate General Amit Kumar, urged Meghalaya government to engage with legal fraternity. Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls for modern sports ecosystem and announces nationwide talent hunt for children aged 5 to 15 to build India's sporting future. National Sports Day celebrated in Tura under Khelo India Dialogue, highlighting youth participation, sports infrastructure and India's Olympic ambitions. The news in detail. First, the local news. Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma today said Meghalaya is poised to become the country's largest state in terms of area under organic agriculture. Speaking during question hour on the 4th day of the autumn session, Sangma said the government is gradually shifting towards organic farming with certification already underway. He said the transition will be phased to prevent any adverse impact on agricultural production and farmers' incomes, while biofertilizers are being promoted and excessive use of chemical fertilizers discouraged. Agriculture Minister Timothy D. Shira said the government is regulating fertilizer sales through notified prices, weekly inspections, mandatory stock displays and point-of-sale machines. He said around 1,432 inspections have been conducted with action, including license cancellation, possible against violators. Meanwhile, the government said it is also examining market linkages and supply chain issues following concerns over falling cabbage prices.
So yes, surprise checks are done, number one. Number two, approximately 1,432 such surprise checks have been done, 1,432. And if anybody is found to be doing anything that is not as per the rules, their license is bound to be cancelled. Sir, I'll just also would like to supplement here. So this is a very important subject. So what we have to remember and what the larger message is that the whole world, the country and Meghalaya is trying to move towards organic agriculture, sir. And therefore, it has been the endeavor of every government to cut use of fertilizers as far as possible. And multiple efforts have been made in the past. So the point, sir, here is that we are not here to encourage the use of fertilizers. We are discouraging the use. But while we also realize that the farmers' incomes are also at stake. So biofertilizers have been introduced. Now, we cannot just simply cut the use of fertilizers because that affects the income of the farmers. So we are in a transition mode, sir. And as we transition, we hope that one day, in the coming future, we will not have any fertilizers. That is the target of the government, sir.
There are these fertilizer inspectors. They very often they go to the retailers and they check the price, and all the retailers are mandatory to display the present rate, and beyond which they are not allowed to check. So they have to shall at the rate fixed by the government. That is very, very mandatory for each retailer. Perhaps the one you have, maybe it is through the black marketing, the price they have charged, but there is no such scope for black marketing also, because every now and then the fertilizer inspector, they go and check.
Teacher vacancies, poor infrastructure and gaps in access to high secondary education came under sharp scrutiny in the Meghalaya Assembly on the fourth day of the autumn session today. The issue was raised during a short duration discussion initiated by West Shillong MLA Paul Lyngdoh, with MLAs across party lines highlighting concerns in the state's education system. Paul Lyngdoh also highlighted concerns over the impact of mobile phones and social media on school children. Leader of Opposition Dr. Mukul Sangma questioned the withdrawal of faculty recruitment at Captain Williamson Sangma State University and sought greater government support for the institution. VPP MLAs Arden Basayamad and Bright Star Well Marbanyang raised concerns over teacher vacancies, salaries and regulation of private colleges, while NPP MLA Mehtab Chandi called for a more equitable distribution of HSSLC schools and greater focus on vocational and agriculture-based skill centres.
Many countries in Europe and Australia have banned the use of cell phones by anybody below the age of 16. But yesterday, I was shocked to see a reel made by a girl who is between the age of 8 and 9. She was dancing on some street, dancing in some mall, some store. A school kid of Shillong, aged between 8 and 9. And I also noticed that she already has 8,000 followers. What is this digital? In our case, it's not digital detox. We are practicing digital intox. And what are the immediate impact of early use of mobile phones by students and teachers sending their assignments and lessons online?
Health Minister Wailat Miki Shilla today said no causal relationship has been established between the death of a 12-year-old student in Tura and consumption of Sting energy drink. Replying during question hour on the fourth day of the autumn session, Shilla said the hospital report attributed the probable cause of death to irreversible shock due to acute gastroenteritis leading to acute kidney injury. Following reports linking the death to Sting, the Food Safety Department had temporarily restricted its sale and distribution across Meghalaya on August 14. The restriction was withdrawn after an inquiry found no causal link between the product and the student's death. The minister said 6 regulatory and 8 surveillance samples of Sting were collected from different districts and sent to NABL accredited laboratories with reports awaited. He assured the House that inspections, sampling and enforcement would continue to ensure food safety across the state.
And just for the information of the House, sir, that even before this incident which happened, sir, even before that, sir, we have the report of the surveillance sample which we have taken of the same drink, sir, Sting, which we have sent in the month of April and also in the month of May, sir, which the report is here, and this report is, sir, from the lab, which is NABL accredited lab, sir, in the country, and this they also show, sir, that the sample is confirmed, sir. And also, sir, after the incident, we did take the review meeting, and also, sir, we have taken the sample and we have sent it to the different NABL lab all over the country. We have taken 6 regulatory samples of this thing and 8 surveillance samples, sir, and we have sent, sir.
Chief Minister Conrad K. Sangma today clarified that the Meghalaya government provided ex-gratia assistance to the families of 5 victims of a workplace accident in Shillong. Replying to a call attention notice raised by VPP President and Nongkrem MLA Ardan Basayomad, Sangma said the assistance was released from the Chief Minister's special grant and not the State Disaster Mitigation Fund. He explained that the disaster fund is meant for specific natural disasters covered under the State Disaster Response Fund and cannot ordinarily be used for workplace accidents. Sangma said the government considered the circumstances of the affected families and provided assistance through the special grant as an exceptional measure. Basayomad said the matter was raised in the Assembly based on media reports and maintained that addressing such issues was part of the responsibility of elected representatives.
All the attention of the government in connection with the workplace accident where 5 victims were denied ex gratia. So this is not a matter of compensation only. However, sir, it is a matter of partiality as far as the denial of payment of ex gratia assistance to victims of well asphyxiation is concerned. So we know that 5 persons have reportedly become victims of a workplace accident. Behind every victim, we know, is a family that may have lost its principal breadwinner, its source of income, and in some cases, sir, its only hope for the future. So the government must explain why ex gratia assistance was denied.
And therefore, it is difficult for us when accidents take place to announce ex gratia because of the very specific definition and the specific purpose under which the ex gratia of the SDMF can be used. However, as I mentioned, sir, that there is a fund under the Chief Minister's Secretariat which is called the Chief Minister's Special Grant, and in different circumstances, based on circumstances, there is no specific guidelines on the amount for that because circumstances differ. Based on the circumstances, the Chief Minister is at liberty to give the ex gratia. But as I said, sir, it is very sensitive and complicated issue for us because it sometimes becomes difficult to assess, the accidents that take place because of circumstances and different kind of accidents and classification of accidents, if I may.
Lawyers representing bar associations across Meghalaya staged a major protest rally in Shillong today, demanding the removal of Advocate General Amit Kumar. The rally began near the U Kyang Nangba statue and passed through Barik and Malki Point before concluding at the High Court Bar Association premises. More than 1,000 lawyers participated, with bar associations from Garo Hills, Jandia Hills and other parts of the state joining the protest. High Court Bar Association Secretary General K.C. Gautam said the rally was a collective decision of the legal fraternity and was not driven by any individual or vested interest. He also expressed disappointment over Chief Minister Conrad Sangma's recent remarks describing Meghalaya as lucky to have Amit Kumar as Advocate General. The bar associations urged the state government to engage directly with the legal fraternity and reiterated their demand for Kumar's removal.
We were never even called. We could have been called. We had submitted a resolution of both bar associations along with a detailed letter about the reason, about our grievances. We were never called. Instead of calling us, the letter is replied, sent back to Mr. Amit Kumar. Amit Kumar sends a reply to us, and thereafter, Honorable Chief Minister comes in the media and shares the clip wherein he says that Amit, we are very, very lucky to have Amit Kumar. And we are very, very disappointed with that statement. Very, very disappointed. In fact, we should have been called once, and by making such a statement that we are lucky to have Amit Kumar undermines the very protest which we have started. See, we are not one or two people having any vested interest. You can see today the number of lawyers who came out in the streets. No, I mean, this is the first time in the history that lawyers have come out in the streets like this in our state.
The Tura Bar Association today abstained from all court work in solidarity with the ongoing agitation by the High Court Bar Association and Shillong Bar Association against Meghalaya Advocate General Amit Kumar. Tura Bar Association President Deborshi G. Momin said the protest was over the Advocate General's alleged derogatory remarks during recent court proceedings and expressed support for the resolution adopted by the High Court Bar Association. He said the Advocate General, holding the state's highest law post, should be familiar with the customary laws and practices of the Khasi, Garo and Jaintia communities. While TBA Vice President Paul Roy Paske said the controversy arose during a hearing related to a writ petition filed by the High Court and Shillong Bar Associations. All bar associations across Garo Hills also abstained from court work today in support of the ongoing agitation.
Tura Bar premises. As you are aware of the fact why this protest has been conducted, it is with regard to the ongoing agitation that has been conducted by the Honorable High Court Bar Association as well as Shillong Bar Association to remove our Advocate General, Mr. Amit Kumar, regarding a recent statement before the court forum during the proceeding of the court, which has undermined and derogatory remark over the High Court Bar Association. So in regard to that, we show our solidarity with the High Court Bar Association, and hence we stand in unison with whatever decision they have been taken, and we abide by the resolution that the High Court Bar Association.
Maukerwat Civil Hospital in Southwest Khasi Hills has started providing URSL surgery or ureteroscopic lithotripsy for patients suffering from ureteric stones. The new procedure marks another milestone for the 4-year-old hospital and is expected to improve access to modern treatment for patients in the district. With the service now available locally, patients may no longer need to travel to Shillong for treatment, helping save both time and expenses. General Surgeon Dr. D. Suting urged people with ureteric stone-related problems to visit the hospital and seek medical advice. He said doctors would assess each case based on medical reports and provide treatment for cases that can be managed at the hospital.
Kalong kongga jing pantip keliat mah ba aneh buat civil Maukerwat ila sedang ni kata lagi ongga URSL mah kata URSL kedai jing sumari ini kimau kelai kibala akhir hopai jong kelai dan kibala sakut siteng hopai jong kelai talong kajing mentoy kalong bangin nakam su mentoy ni su menpai maka dia mau konsur dan mensuang ni set pai pisa selong itu di dua sekuat bandril dua sekuat empat di mau ni sepak selong yang mentah terladon ni tera siang kajing kuat jong kipat lagi kuat orang ni keladon dan lagi kuat boleh selong kota siang kajing kuat jong ki kamtam ni gini beriu barat kia kiba tray lengkang terkebah ada kata kalau su beriu kan makan dan din mau tapi dan kami tadi stop dan mau pai kelai Pila kanuan, ni aman page sebagai report ke long guna. Tingin sa ay jingko tayo kung report. Banting ay teman kamting ra ni kabangim la ni mangla ya kabangim la tingin sa le.
KSU leaders and members were stopped from entering Sadar police station today after arriving to comply with a notice issued under Section 94 of the BNSS in connection with the August 19 bike rally. Those summoned include KSU Assistant General Secretary Pinchai Rani, Information and Publicity Secretary Pinchai Dakhar, Education Secretary Alirek Kharjana and other members. KSU Information and Publicity Secretary Pinchai Kupar Dakhar said the notice required the union to submit documents and communication records related to members who participated in the rally. He said KSU representatives reached the police station as directed but were not allowed to enter and subsequently left the premises. The August 19 bike rally organized as part of the KSU's 5-point agitation was later marked by violence and damage to property, following which police launched investigations and arrested several KSU leaders.
With regards to the notice we received from the Sardar police station, as per notice section 94 BNSS, we have actually complied with the notice to be present at the Sardar police station, but upon reaching the Sardar police station, the police did not allow us to enter, so we left the police station, and that is what happened today. The purpose of this summon is as per section 94 of the BNSS. It states that we have to produce the list of fiscal documents and electronic communications with the list of the participants, members who participated on the said rally on the 19th of August. That is what it states.
The Khasi Hills Achik Joint Action Committee has urged the Meghalaya government to make the language requirement for District Selection Committee recruitment optional. Speaking to the media after meeting the governor at Lok Bhavan today, KHAJAC representative Manuel C.H. Marak said the existing requirement puts Garo candidates residing in Khasi Hills at a disadvantage. The committee said a significant Garo population has been living in Khasi Hills for generations and should have equal opportunities in government recruitment. It argued that since Khasi and Garo are recognized as official languages of Meghalaya, candidates should be allowed to choose either language in DSC examinations. KHAJAC has sought the governor's intervention and urged the state government to review the policy maintaining that language should not become a barrier to employment.
Before the British era, we are residing here and we have equal rights. And here what we found. So our people, they cannot compete in the district selection committee because of the language. So there only our people, they used to fit. So once they had recognized this Garo and Khasi language as official, so they should mandatory in a both Garo Hills and then Khasi Hills. So it should be optional when we appear the examinations and all. So it should be optional, either Garo or Khasi. So if the Garo appear the DSC exam, that means they should give us the opportunity to appear in our own mother tongue.
The Claria Distribution Division of MEPDCL today clarified allegations raised by MPUF and FKJGP regarding electricity billing, disconnections and staff shortages in East Janta Hills. Executive Engineer Hamjingai Lau said consumers with meters are billed according to actual meter readings, while most consumers without meters are billed based on assessed consumption. He urged consumers to install meters to ensure accurate billing and prevent discrepancies between actual electricity usage and assessed bills. He also said consumers who fail to pay their bills can be disconnected without further notice. Under a government one-time settlement scheme, disconnected Consumers can avail 100% waiver of delay payment charges on eligible outstanding bills. He added that frequent line faults in the district are also caused by jungle terrain and aging, rusted electricity poles, while the department is continuing efforts to improve services with the available manpower.
Kani lai kira spot billing. Larawan sambil lagi mentugas ni mud reading gawa hagata kesni. Uyo iga final reading the record ki haga bilai te generate iga bill. Tahanre macam ni man hapok kani district yang ida boni consumer ki wa memitar. Memitar tawa em ki wa man memu iling bo mitar ma. Kami gitun ki consumer man I encourage ki man yo fit ki yo mitar. Kanang wagi bilai yo like ko man gawa daga assessment. Daga assessment naman niyo ang man kawan accurate kawan
Acik Sagatam Pidok Lido Pa Togang Sangma Arupa Sunaram Sangma against British fight ka Aranga independent India manaha Aro Angni Acik Mandirang Maika Singni Dilga Palangko Guala. Guala ma? For the first time, Turao Pasunaram Arsangma Memorial Celebration ka. First time na? Second time. Second time celebrate ka. Few years back, I came here to celebrate this Pa Togan Sangma's birth anniversary.
And in national news, Prime Minister Narendra Modi today said the government is committed to building a modern sports ecosystem in India, with sports universities and advanced training centres supporting talent at every stage. Addressing the Khelo India dialogue through video conferencing, Modi said sports is not only about winning medals but also about harnessing the strength of youth to build a Viksit Bharat. He said every district has the potential to shine on the global sports map and announced a major talent hunt for children aged 5 to 15 to identify sporting potential. The Prime Minister said the focus would be on identifying not only the sport children are interested in, but also the sport they are best suited for. He also highlighted that sports has emerged as a promising career and profession and said the Khelo India dialogue would provide a platform for youth to share ideas that could shape India's sporting future.
मैंने इस 15 अगस्त को लाल किले से भारत का स्पोर्ट्स विजन देश के सामने रखा है। जब मैं स्पोर्ट्स की बात करता हूं तो ये केवल मेडल जीतने तक सीमित नहीं है। ये विकसित भारत के निर्माण में भारत की खेल शक्ति और भारत की युवा शक्ति को एक साथ जोड़ने का अभियान है। मैं हमेशा कहता आया हूं, जो खेले वो खिले, और खेल में खिलना सिर्फ मैदान पर जीतना नहीं है। खेल में खिलना मतलब व्यक्तित्व का खिलना, परिवार का खिलना और देश का गौरव बढ़ाना।
India has stepped up efforts to trace and rescue 288 Indian nationals who remain unreachable in Nepal following the devastating flash floods. External Affairs Ministry spokesperson Randhir Jaiswal said those uncontactable include 73 Indians working at the Trishuli 1 power project, besides pilgrims and nationals from several states. India has sent over 47 tons of emergency relief supplies to Nepal and is mobilizing Bailey bridges to assist rescue and relief operations. The MEA has set up a 24/7 control room, while Indian embassies in Kathmandu and Beijing have also established round-the-clock helplines. Meanwhile, around 200 Indian nationals stranded on the Chinese site have sought evacuation assistance, with Indian authorities coordinating with local officials for their safe return.
As per information currently available, there are 288 Indian nationals who remain uncontactable. These include 73 Indian nationals who are working on Trishuli 1 power project. Our embassy in Kathmandu is in touch with the project head to get more details about these people. As you well understand, that communication lines in that area, they are totally disrupted, and therefore it has been difficult to get in touch with people on ground.
Let's now take a look at the top international story. China has deployed its first batch of rescuers to Gyeongsang County in Tibet following catastrophic flash floods that have left nearly 1,500 people missing across Tibet and Nepal. China's Ministry of Emergency Management said 141 rescue personnel had arrived with equipment and emergency supplies, while nearly 550 more personnel were on the way. More than 400 rescue personnel in surrounding areas have also been kept on standby for the operations. Meanwhile, Nepal police said 270 bodies have been recovered following the torrential floods that swept through Himalayan border areas of Nepal and Tibet. And in sports. Union Youth Affairs and Sports Minister Dr. Mansukh Mandavia has said the centre has sanctioned Rs 36,000 crore to build a robust sports ecosystem and strengthen sports infrastructure across the country. Speaking on the Khelo India Dialogue at IIT Gandhinagar, Mandavia said the funds will be used to establish sports academies, promote a vibrant sporting culture and strengthen infrastructure. He said the initiative will provide talented athletes from rural and urban areas greater opportunities to compete on global platforms. The Union Minister said a nationwide campaign is underway under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi to increase youth participation in sports and support the vision of a Viksit Bharat.
युवाओं के साथ संवाद करा, देश में खेलों को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए उसका आइडियाज भी लिया और देश के प्रधानमंत्री जी ने आज खेलो इंडिया संवाद को संबोधित भी करा। उससे देश में बदलता हुआ स्पोर्टिंग कल्चर को और वेग मिलेगा और जोश मिलेगा। देश के युवा अपनी फिटनेस के लिए, मेडल के लिए, प्रोफेशन के लिए भी खेल के मैदान में आके अपने स्वयं को खेल के साथ जोड़ेंगे। नहीं केवल गुजरात में बट सारे देश में खेल अवसंरचना डेवलप हो, एक स्पोर्ट्स इकोसिस्टम बने, डेवलप हो। उसके लिए लास्ट महीने में ही 36,000 करोड़ रुपीस का प्रावधान करा गया है, जिसमें देश में स्पोर्ट्स इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलपमेंट करा जाएगा।
National Sports Day 2026 was celebrated in Tura today under the Yuva Connect program, Khelo India Dialogue, Khel Ki Baat, PM Modi Ke Saath. The program was held at Tura Government College and ICFA University, Meghalaya on the theme Khelo Aaj Viksit Bharat Kal. The main highlight was the live telecast of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's address, where he spoke about Major Dhyan Chand, the Khelo India mission and India's preparations for the 2036 Olympics. At ICFA University, former Meghalaya cricketer Kilko R. Marak interacted with around 100 students and shared his sporting journey. At Tura Government College, students also participated in discussions on sports infrastructure, India's preparations for major international sporting events and the role of youth in sports.
Very motivated since I have seen Modi's speech it feels motivated because he speak that we should not only focus on studies but also on sports. We have to do it. It will give the name for not ourselves, for our college, for our family. It will bring good things to family. I think, in my view, in my perspective, it was very inspirable and inspiration for every youth and every student.
Khelo India dialogue means it will bring youth together and it will give more leadership and skills to youth. I believe that every who are here today, PM Narendra Modi's speech, it will help to improve their sports.
And that's all we have for you in today's news bulletin. Until tomorrow, thank you for watching.
The pricing, availability and exploitation of farmers.
Specialized infrastructure,
Mizoram Chief Minister Lal Duhoma has expressed concern over certain